we've got our checklist, what you need to do with your garden and your lawn and your landscaping. Now we've got to talk about pruning. So pruning is so important, I guess, for the health of your plant and also for making sure things don't get crazy.
Exactly. I call it horticultural hairdressing. A different way to look at pruning, right? So like hairdressing, there are many tools that are out there, and pruning can be very intimidating.
Yes.
There are different sizes of pruners. This is what's called a lopper.
Yeah, like I'm scared of that right now.
Well, yeah, you should be. Don't keep this around children, but this is really to the size of the stems when you're starting to go like this.
Right.
Really what you need is a good quality bypass or anvil pruner. Probably the best one on the market is the Felco. This is a Felco number 2. If you're ever looking to purchase a garden gift for a gardener out there, if you buy them a pair of Felco number 2s, these guys were at Sheridan. This is the creme de la creme of pruners.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's about a $50 to $60 pruner.
Okay, so it's like getting those really, really good scissors for a hairstylist,
very much so.
right?
Where this is a $12 pruner.
Okay.
This $12 pruner will work at the beginning and will work well, but will only last you probably one season. This guy here, you can resharpen the blades, you can switch them out.
Yes.
It's really quite good.
Okay,
pruning paste, just to let everybody know about pruning paste.
What does that do?
When you do a large cut on a tree, the old thought was that you would paint it to seal it up and not allow insects or anything to go in.
Okay.
But studies have proven that, like us, where we cut ourselves and we heal, trees do too. So pruning paints and pastes, don't use them. Not necessary.
Okay, so you don't need the pastes.
Yeah.
Okay,
so let's go to a couple
step.
different things. This is a hydrangea. This one here is called City Line Berlin.
Did you hear that? It's called City Line.
You like that?
That is the perfect brand for us.
But you can see right on the tag it says no prune. And the reason why, this is the whole idea, is when it comes to pruning, it's the timing has to be right. This guy here, it's a macrophilia, it blooms on old wood, meaning last year's growth is where the blooms are. So even though we see these little buds that are right there, those little buds within them have the blooms. So if I was to go to cut off a bud right now, goodbye bloom. Right, so you want to make sure your timing is right. Okay. Whereas the hydrangea that I already featured to you, which is Little Lamb, this guy here is one that basically blooms on new wood. So I can go right down nice and low and give it a really aggressive haircut. And by doing this, it's going to stimulate nice new growth and really, really do well. And a lot of the times people are fearful. They're like, oh my God, Frank,
you just cut the whole plant.
Right, and I would do the
and I would do the
same thing with Buddleia as well. Yeah. Buddleia is something that blooms on new wood, and you go down. And really, when you're coming to pruning, you want to make sure that when you're pruning, you want to make sure that there's a lateral branch. One of the branches are going to go out. A lot of the times people just prune and they lop the top off. But when it comes to pruning, you're pruning for shape, size, to promote bloom, but also it's about airflow. So air circulation to the center. So when it comes to this beautiful hibiscus, which is a Rose of Sharon, and this guy here, we don't go crazy with pruning of this guy, but we look to the center here and we look in and it's starting to get a little bit crowded. So we'll go in here and it's always at a 45 that we're doing. So I'll just show you the angle right there to Al, which is our camera operator. It's always at a 45. That way when you're pruning at a 45, when water droplets fall on that, the water droplet will, it'll actually just slide right off it and fall down. You don't want water to pool. So cut at a 45. Make sure that you're pruning to open up the centers. And it's really about timing. And you know the easiest way to remember it? How? Is always when it comes to flowering shrubs, prune after they flower. So prune after bloom.
Prune after,
Oh yeah, you'll never, ever fail when you do that. Okay. Lilacs, do not prune in spring. Also, I gotta let you know, birch, you know the big birch trees?
Yeah, they're
if
beautiful.
you prune them in spring, they're gonna bleed out. Because the sap's starting to flow.
So this is really a timing situation.
Yeah,
so you really have to make sure you do it at the right time.
Key.
And you really got to get in there and give it a buzz cut.
Oh, you know what? Sometimes
I wasn't expecting that kind of hairstyle. I thought maybe it was going to be a layered bob.
No, this is a low.
That is right down.
But you know what? When you do this, it's way easier to maintain.
Right.
Wait, no, but really, this is going to promote. You wouldn't believe the amount. That was me just trying to be.
Just wash and go.
Yeah, wash and go. But this one here, the Little Lamb, the lamb's ear is a beautiful hydrangea. It's going to bloom from new wood, and people always shock it when you do it like that. Yeah. But things like spirea, cut them right down to the ground. Weigela, cut them right down to the ground. Get aggressive, people.
All right.
Yes.
Get your aggression out on your plants there.
You got